Our next choice is English at Key Stages 1 and 2. And if your whole school development priority is English literacy, then this could be a really great choice for you. So the English Key Stages 1 and 2 will be very much based on the EEF guidance reports for improving literacy at Key Stages 1 and 2, and we'll aim to work through some of the recommendations from those reports. We'll be using some of the resources from the LEAP projects, which have been running very successfully across the county, and with lots of excitement around some of those resources and being very effective, so we'll be looking to use some of those resources to support this project next year. It will work through some different models of reading. One example of that is the Scarborough Reading Rope, which is a model which, as it suggests, looks like a rope with two main strands. The two main strands being word recognition and language comprehension. Each of those strands is broken down further into sub-strands that all entwine together, and the idea is that we teach pupils all of those strategies and how to work them seamlessly together in order to make sure that they are effective readers. It can also be used as a diagnostic tool in order to identify areas of focus for particular children. So we'll be looking at potentially that model and some other models of reading as well. We will be looking at how to support children to develop their vocabulary, which is incredibly important. We've seen a lot in the news and the media about the importance of vocabulary acquisition for children and the impact that can have if children don't develop and enrich their vocabulary to their lifelong chances as they grow up, and in terms of their secondary education, the gaps widen if children haven't developed that rich vocabulary. So we'll be looking within the Mobilise project at some explicit strategies to teach vocabulary, and also how do we create our learning environments to make sure that they're rich in vocabulary, that we allow children to explore and play with language orally, to write language, to write different words and explore how to do that, to really delve into the meaning of those words and really focus on that in a specific way. We'll be looking at how to support children to develop their reading fluency, and we'll be looking to develop children's ability to work through reading comprehension and develop their reading comprehension strategies. So we'll be looking at things like summarising, prediction, clarifying, inference is the big one that children struggle with, and how to activate prior knowledge and understanding. And we'll be working through some of those different reading comprehension strategies as part of the project. Metacognition is really big news at the moment, and that will form a strand throughout this as well. How do we get children to know for themselves what those reading comprehension strategies are, how to use them, how to choose them, and what to do with them? So that metacognition strand and that independent learning strand will come all the way through this as well. In terms of writing, we'll be working through the 7 recommendations in the EEF guidance reports in different ways. A lot of those recommendations are based around children being able to structure sentences effectively, to be able to plan their writing, revise and draft and redraft their writing, and then produce that final copy. So we'll be working through some of those strategies that are in those guidance reports. To finish, really thinking about basic writing skills, the basics of spelling, handwriting and sentence construction will also be part of this choice. A lot to get through, and as Vanessa said earlier, it's unlikely that we're going to be able to whiz through an entire EF guidance recommendation in a year. So we might well be selecting certain parts of that based on what schools really want to focus on, because what we don't want to do is whiz through all of that and not give anything enough time. So that's just an overview really of the possibility for this choice next year. But if English is your whole school development priority, then this could be the key one for you for next year.